you're coming along with the day in the life of what goes into building a Scalo, the raw, authentic side of everything, I guess. You can come see the bike, you know, the Death Trap. Here it is. The thing that my mum tells me not to buy, but I guess this is boys and their toys, eh? That's loud. I know. So everything is upgraded. I bought it actually off one of my clients. You're gonna have to excuse me, anyone who's into bikes and that, because I'm not into it, and it's just got told to go everything. I know the exhaust is upgraded. This is upgraded. It's called a tail tidy, I think. And then there's a quick shifter over here somewhere. But really, I bought it because my dad wanted me to get it, all honesty.
That's a good one.
I was made for this, I prayed for this. It's a Swiss, what's on my plate, it's like a fish, at the round table.
12.5. What's a normal day in the life looking like?
A normal day in the life for me right now is cutting down the days in the salon and working more behind the chair. A big focus of mine, and it's a part of my goals that I've written down this year, is to try and get more time back into the gym and my personal life, as the last sort of 12 months has been really focused on building the business. But I'm gonna try and sound really glamorous, but a lot of it is just being behind the screen and kind of talking to clients and building out systems and eating and drinking coffees. That's a lot that goes into the day in the life, but really focusing on being a bit more present and spending a bit more time with like loved ones, friends and stuff like that. But personal life is something that I'm really focusing on. I want to do a Hyrox this year and join a Hyrox gym, so that's the main focus. But day to day, just keeping up with clients, keeping clients happy in the salon, and building systems to improve everything inside of Scalo, really. I've got a meeting with my DM setter, who's a part of the sales team. We're just kind of refining the process of the actual sales process, because I'm sure you felt it. Everyone in the DMs is trying to sell to everyone these days, and it's clearly not working, because I got pissed off with someone the other day and I'm trying to do the same thing. So I want to refine the process so that I'm selling to people in a way that doesn't feel like I'm selling to them, because I'm not here to try to sell to them. I'm trying to build them a better life. So that's what we're focusing on. Nearly got hit by a car. That's what we're focusing on today, is just refining the process, because that's the first sort of, the second touch point that a potential buyer would have with me, right, is they watch my content and then I'm in them in the DMs, and if the DMs aren't relating to what I'm talking about in the content and how I sound, it doesn't sort of compare, and it's like an issue that we have right now and a bottleneck that we're trying to fix. They say when the Queen left Buckingham Palace, this is where she came.
Really?
Yeah. Ashridge House, for anyone that wants to know. This is well nice. I've been here for years. It's a diabetic stream. A little bit less milk than usual. Is that alright?
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
It'll be a shorter.
Yeah. But yeah, perfect. The old beef for group chat is going off.
When you going?
I am going end of June for 5 days, and I'll be honest, I'm 50-50 if I can be asked. You know, got a heavy couple of weeks coming up. Got my brother's wedding, 2 weddings. One wedding next month.
Yeah.
Then got stag do at the start of July. Got a wedding of my client, so I got to cut his hair at the start of June, and then go Ibiza in June, and then my brother's wedding in September. So.
And how do you manage the business with doing all this stuff?
Systems are the key to everything, really, and just trusting the process more than anything. Understanding that you build it from the foundation, so that you don't have to always be in the business for it to work, and just trusting in what you built. You know, I'm confident in the systems that I've put in place, that all the team members so far know their jobs, know what they need to do, so that if I need to get out of there for 5 days, I just pre-plan for the content I need to make, put a little bit more effort in and enjoy the 5 days off, but also work a little bit while we're out there. You know, you can't completely switch off, because I think it's impossible. You can never switch off when you truly love your business. Just sit outside, you know?
True.
Only nice day.
Told Bay walk on, what's good, delete her number, she's moving stush. I'm on a 2-man speed and wash, I came from Leicester, I'm straight out of the woods. This thing got me vexing again, I might just text her late nights in Conch.
Looks like I've got green screen behind me. Look at that. You know?
That's a sick bike.
How long have you worked with this guy?
He came on in like December. I had a setter on before, and he found another offer that he went on. So I've been working with this guy since September.
Yeah, so I'm Kazim. I'll give you a little background to this stuff, obviously. Not always works well. I've never used application forms, but
They're hoping that they can sell to you.
I understand that. But I think
So everything now is going to be posted on that account, but you're going to need to be between both. But the output on the Scale with Tim account is going to be way higher. It's almost like getting them to buy without actually physically telling them, hey mate, buy. We want them to be like, mate, I want to buy from you. Notice it's like when we say, how's your barbering going? I would never say that.
yeah. You know the offers. If you're certain knows the offer, they guarantee
Yeah. Just like, and it all, Nah, I think that's good. I think just the main thing we need to fix now is just to slowing down the process and making sure that we see they see the value before it's like run out.
How was that, Timbo?
It was good. It was good, productive. Yeah, I think it's important to understand that not everything's perfect, you know, and highlight the problems in the business is how you succeed, you know. And that's what we did today. Tackled the problems, trying to fix them, and show the process of fixing it. I think people find it awkward talking to people and actually identifying problems, and that's down to communication. And all the business people that I speak to inside Scalo is that the fact that they don't actually communicate with their team enough. And how can you identify problems and understand where your team's at if you don't talk to people? You know, we're humans, we communicate, everyone gets things wrong, but it's how you act and how you fix it, which is the most important thing. So, just identify and communicate and fix shit. Whoa! Fuck. That's next. Actually, now next car is a Range Rover Sport. I'm not getting a new car until I get it. Until I get that car. That's like a sense of achievement for me. You know, everyone shits on the Range Rovers, but I think that's sick.
Yeah. Life is the only thing we need.
Going into the bush.
Yeah.
Wanna leave. Rest in
Door's open. Just fucking can't even close the door.
Sorry.
There we go. You know, we're here, right? And I was speaking to Callum how someone's just pulled into the car park that we're filming in, right? And there we go. Make sure to get her, approval of getting her on the video. But what's mad is you get in your head and you think, fucking hell, I can't film here because people are judging me. But they actually don't give a fuck. They're so indulged in what they're doing and it's in your head. And this can go into anything, you starting your business, you making a piece of content. You're often your own worst enemy because you think that people are going to judge you, when in actual fact you're judging yourself that's stopping you from doing it. I think content gives you the biggest return on investment that anything does, you know? Content is the catalyst for everything. I've built 2 businesses based off content, and for any barber or anyone that's building a business and you can master organic content, you now know how to market it, and marketing is the biggest driving factor to getting sales, you know? More eyeballs on your product, the more sales you get, i.e. barbers, the more eyeballs you get on your profile, the more clients that book in. So understanding how to make content is how you're going to boost your business, and I think it's the foundations of everything. And unfortunately barbers are now going to have to turn into content creators whether you like it or not in this day and age. So rest of agenda today, I've got to have a full-on I've got to write a huge prompt for ChatGPT because I can't write or spell, as anyone would know. You'll look at my Instagram stories, nothing spelt right. But building a bot to help me with email marketing sounds boring, eh? But this is the truth. It's what I've got to do. So end of today I'll probably document that, me writing out a whole prompt, and then I still need to build out some modules. But we've had fun, we've got out of the house, it was nice to leave my room, but unfortunately that's the truth that goes into building business. It's not all fun and games. I've been to the gym, maybe potentially go for a run, but probably won't. But I'll go sit behind the computer, and that's the fun of it, brutally honestly. Look at that doggy. Hello, doggo.
I was a bit loud.
Cut. Things. If I never made content, I would never be able to do this, and I'd never be able to open the second business. And what happens when things change? Like, what happens if in 4 years' time I don't want to do my coaching business, I want to build something else? Me having a brand that's based around this allows me to do that. You know? And I think this day and age, if you're an old school person, they probably have clientele that have been cutting hair for 20 years and they're okay with that. But a young person now wants to succeed so much that content is a non-negotiable to help you get there. And yeah, fucking hell, it's hard to do, but it's worth it. And people might go, oh, you're cringy. I had the same thing when I first started, and now I have a business and nearly 100,000 followers. Everyone asks me for advice.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the way it goes. People might think it's cringy and bollocks at the start, but they'll soon be asking you exactly how they did it, and when you get there, you'll then be called lucky. We're in an attention economy, and I think it's at its lowest. You know, people nowadays, when I say attention economy, what people look at is people get bored so quickly nowadays. I think now, with the way that everything's going, you can get so much information and direction through ChatGPT that I think if you're an authentic self, and if I was a barber having to start again, I would now make content around exactly the business I'm building and let my clients become fans before they're clients. And now that will then grow the business further, because the people who watch your content are going to be sole supporters of where you want to get to.
Yeah.
So I think now if you can get good at creating organic content, and more than organic content, don't just show the haircuts, show the person behind the brand and the person behind the haircuts. And that's how you really start to build a brand that people resonate with, and you build like an ethos between everyone who's inside the business. So if I was starting again, I wouldn't give a fuck about what I'm posting. I'd document every single thing I'm doing. If I'm trying to get fully booked, I'd document that. If I'm moving my business, I'd document that. If I'm moving countries, I'd document that. Because exposure is how you increase revenue. So people love value, but the amount of people that actually apply it and watch it is crazy. Like on my other channel, I think this video is going on a new channel, haven't quite decided yet, but if it is, it is, if it is, it isn't. But the amount of value that's on that channel, someone could easily make a 6-figure business and get fully booked, but the average watch time is 3 minutes because people can't be asked to watch it, you know? So value will reach the right people who you want it to reach, but authentic will reach a mass audience, and you'll start to build a true connection that way, you know? Like, I think you need to have a balance of both, and I think that's something that I was blurring the lines, and now I have more clarity on. Is that, thank you very much, have more clarity on in that sense.
AP, I start with a rolling. Nigga play on my top, they don't know me. Outside, I'm with the game with a 40. And that rope set me up, now soulless. Bands on me, they the oldest sands. Hell, serotonin. Go for the kill, we got soldiers. Oh, we got Glocks, and they always loaded. Off the grid.
What's happening, people? I thought I would check back in and just give you a little update of what I've been doing. You would have seen some B-roll. Callum's left now. We were doing a bit of work editing the video that we were filming today. But I had a couple of clients in the chair this afternoon. It was nice to catch up. It's kind of now, with the business, with the way it's going, oh, drop my pen, it's kind of, the haircuts are now becoming more kind of sporadic throughout the days, doing them on the days off and not really having the days. Like I said, I'm cutting less now and focusing more on this. But there wasn't an awful lot to capture. You know, I've just been sat here working for the last 4 or 5 hours, filling in a massive ChatGPT prompt. I'll show you what it actually is I've been filling out. As you can see here, let me just lower this ISO so you can see it. I have just been filling out this huge ChatGPT prompt that is actually 26 pages long, so I can basically write better emails. And then I've also made, for me and Callum, a creative dashboard so we can have some nice creative flow when it comes to actually creating a bit of content. And I know that doesn't sound like really exciting stuff to some of you, but this is kind of the brutal aspect of what goes in to building the business. You know, it's not always what you see on Instagram of traveling and the perfect life. This is what builds the perfect life, you know? This is the things that have to be done to actually get you to the position. And unfortunately, that's what we have to do, but I enjoy that. I get better, I'm learning new skills every day, and this whole process is a learning curve. Even me making these YouTube videos, I want them to be extremely raw and just show you the exact, behind the scenes, exactly what goes into the business and what I actually get up to in my lifestyle. It's currently now, what time is it? Coming up to 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. on a Tuesday evening. I should have really gone to bed at 9. I usually try and get into bed at 9, but these things happen. I worked later and I had some things to do. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you like this style of content. There's going to be more of this. I'm going to be aiming to post 2 pieces of content a month on this channel, showing more about the lifestyle and the behind the scenes, and then 2 pieces of content on the Tim Brace business channel, which is more about systems and understanding everything that's being built inside of Scalo. So you see 2 sides of the coin. So whatever that is you enjoy, you subscribe, you watch, but let's keep this interactive. Comment down below. I'm going to try not to turn into one of these YouTube influencers. I want this to be raw and just everything that goes into a brand. I'm not that type of person. I don't want to be an influencer. I'm just documenting the process and showing barbers and people that you can truly do anything you want when you put your mind to it. So with that being said, I'm going to stop twiddling my pen around and I'll see you in the next video. See you soon, guys. Peace.